Coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kiteshare Radio.
Hello there to you, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste and welcome to the Friday edition of the Lall Show on the Kiteshare Radio 99.1 FM. As you know, we come to you every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the rebroadcast the following day at 11 a.m. and Sundays we record all 30 programs. So this Friday, you know how we like to do it on Friday. Very short and sweet on Fridays. So we give you the boss or another pack every Fridays. So a lot of invitations that we know how we manage. But of course, you come first. Let's hear this on Friday. So without further ado, I introduce you.
Namaste, Josh. It's Friday. It's Friday, Raj. It's Friday, Bernard.
Happy Friday.
Thank you. And happy weekend too. Namaste to every one of you and thanks for listening. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. A man named John C. Maxwell, those were his words. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the quality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. Those are the words from a man named Douglas MacArthur. The task of the leader is to get his people from where they are to where they have not been. Henry Kissinger. I have been following that man for a very long time now. He was the U.S., he was a one-time Secretary of State in the U.S. Hear how we will get where we have never been before. Henry Kissinger says, the task of the leader is to get his people from where they are to where they have not been. Well, uncle and auntie, you have to hear how we will get to where we have never been before. A fly-by-night company wins a $346 million contract to build a primary school. We reported that story in today's Kiteshare News. The owners of the company that got the contract or the contract went to a known promoter of football and a DJ. $346 million for a primary school. Uncle and auntie, this is how your tax dollars are being spent. You can build 8 primary schools with this kind of money. And guess what? The people who got a contract saying they will hire technical people to build a school. And the minister who signed the contract, Minister Lall, telling the nation that this project is going to create jobs. Yes, jobs. That these projects going to create jobs. Man, jobs for the people in Linden, where this primary school is going to build. It's a place called Bamia. Mr. Lall said, this is President Ali's vision to educate and build Guyana. The same line, the same thing. Them a go-to like Dal, day after day for the last 30 years. Every project them put their hand on is jobs. How they going to create jobs? And then the minister said, how is to educate the community. Yes, that's how much they care for y'all. What he should have been talking about, Uncle, is the $346 million to build a primary school. I sometimes wonder if these people who never been in the construction business before, if any one of these ministers gonna put $346 million out of their bank book in the hands of people who never built anything before, I wonder if this minister gonna do something like that.
You think?
This is what they keep doing to you guys.
They value money more.
This is why y'all can't get a raise of salary. This is why pension money can't raise. This is why people got to go in the Chinese shop or restaurant to buy dog food and ask for a fork. And telling this nation, them are educate people. Them taking our poor tax dollars and using it to educate a DJ and football promoter how to become a government contractor to build schools at a cost 5 and if I like 10 times higher. This company, Uncle, the company that get the 346 million contract, register only March this year. And by the time a baby born, them getting contracts in the hundreds of millions of dollars. I would like to see the government engineer estimate for that school. Can anybody get it and send it to me? We also reported today, Auntie, that they're building another primary school at the Kanapang village, Region 7. And the engineer estimated that primary school to cost $45 million.
That's way in the bush for
Way in the bush for $45 million. And Linden at $346 million. That village in Kanapang got about 200 persons. And what they say again, it will create jobs. Yes. This primary school, Uncle, the one in Kanapang, I don't know if it will look like a matchbox. According to the tradition with government figures. I don't know if that one will be looking like a matchbox. But I do know the $346 million one in Linden, that one I think gonna be a 10-story. That's the only way that price can make sense, Bernard.
Yeah, almost $2 million.
Yes. Man, if a primary school can cost $346 million and a secondary school can cost $587 million, then, Bernard, you have a clue what would a smart school like those in the developed world would cost? Huh? That might be more than more than 3 FPSO put together. Wow. 3 FPSO is what, about 4 billion American dollars? Yes. A smart school. If these clowns we have, these very bright leaders we have, decide to build a smart school, it's going to be 3 times the cost of one of them FPSO that Exxon have out there. Auntie, it's Friday. Let me smile. I hope you smiling too, Uncle. And I hope you all register a company to build schools. You can register one to build hospitals, bridges and roads too. You don't need experience. President Ali and your opposition leader Harman and the other opposition Ramjatan, them paying you to get experience. So you better run quick and register a company. You might get in, you might be lucky to get in something. It doesn't cost you much. It does not cost you much to register a company. Maybe 5,000 Guyana dollar can register a company. Not much. We carried another story today. ExxonMobil in talks with a Dutch company. The same white man that gave Guyana $68 million to plant mangroves at the seawall between Buxton and Traspe and said that will give a couple jobs. Yes, that same company already in talks with ExxonMobil for build the 4th FPSO, making billions of American dollars here in Guyana with these floating ships. Come here throwing crumbs and your ministers posing with big, big photographs, thanking and praising them. The shipbuilder, praising the shipbuilders. And saying, see how nice these people are? They give we $68 million. We can't even patch a small road in any village of this country. Uncle, if we are to use the traditional way, we leaders does use figures for schools, bridges and roads, man, $68 million can't even fill a hole in the shortest street in Guyana, much less that torn by DSL heading on the east bank off Mandela Road. ExxonMobil in talks with them already for build the next ship, the largest floating ship out of the three that is here with 1, 2 and Payara. This one, Uncle, they say go hold 2 million barrels, not one. The public consultation for this project ain't even finished yet, Uncle. They ain't get no approval or permit yet, environmental or otherwise. And Exxon done the tax with the man who give me 68 million for them start building the 4th multi-billion-dollar ship. You follow what I'm saying, man? They ain't get no permission, no environmental. They ain't even done the consultation, and they in this in talks. Them don't tell themselves, this is a done deal, Uncle. This is a walkover. Yeah, man. Jagdeo and Harman and Ramjatan will give them bang, take it. Guyanese, y'all shut up. That is what they're telling we.
Definitely.
Y'all shut up.
Definitely.
We are in control of all the clowns y'all have for leaders. That's what they're doing to us.
That's exactly what they're doing. And our leaders don't care.
But let me say this, uncle, and let me say it loud and clear. This project ain't going nowhere without the Guyanese people. Don't get a change.
Definitely, man.
This project can't go ahead without them correcting all the faults, all the wrongs in Lisa 1, 2, and 3. All can be corrected overnight. We have lost too much billions, man. Money that could have doubled people's salaries for the next 66 years. Guyanese, uncle and auntie, we know better now. And we have to do better now. And it is time that these clowns work for us who put them there.
Definitely.
And not for those oil people.
Definitely.
Auntie, ExxonMobil may have the ground, but the bat and balls is in our hands with this Ford project.
Definitely.
Cheers with me, man.
Yep,
Cheers.
Definitely.
The same man that gives 68 million for Buxton Traspe mangroves is the same man who built Lisa 1, Lisa 2. And what Jagdev and Harman and Ramjatan them and check unto now. Remember Jagdev said? We ain't had people yet to check Lisa 1 and Lisa 2. So we have to pay the bills as is. And we lose out billions. I am positive on that, uncle, of American dollars. Payara what Jagdev running okay overnight is another 10 billion US dollar. And the 2 years to check it, uncle, 1 year done already. Now, Jagdev and Harman are on ahead to give another one, the fourth project. Like I said, auntie, this one is bigger one. This is a bigger one and we back. When them done with y'all and this country, no amount of oxygen bottle will help y'all. Only the creator got to step in. You hear what I'm saying? When these guys is done with y'all, along with ExxonMobil, no amount of oxygen bottle gonna help you out in the hospital. The creator will have to decide what he will do with y'all. Allow it to go ahead. Last night, I spent 4.5 hours listening to a Zoom conference with ExxonMobil, other oil players, the EPA, and the public. Halfway into the questions and answers, I had to take a drink, uncle. You hear me, auntie? I had to take a drink. In 1985, very few people had TV in them house. My landlord, upstairs landlord, I was living downstairs, lent me a movie called The Rise and Fall of Idi Amin. The then Ugandan president, Burnham, had banned the movie in Guyana. Me and my cousin sat down and watched that movie. We watched it 2 times, one after the other. We did something that still lives in my memory from 1985 to now. We drank out 6.5 bottles of vodka. 2 people. And when we got up, Uncle, it was like we didn't drink anything whatsoever. If you get a chance, look at that movie. Last night, within 1 hour, me and 1 staff drink out 3 bottle vodka in my office, listening to that consultation. Man, I have to put together it and play it a whole month every day for y'all to listen. Yes, y'all will give me a break for a whole month. The EPA and ExxonMobil with the rest of them didn't bargain for last night's consultation on the same Ford project, Lisa 4. I myself was stunned. I was flabbergasted. Man, my heart was jumping with joy. ExxonMobil meet their meter with experts, people of caliber, people of class from all over the region and the world.
Qualification.
Man, questions were posed to them, and you will hear it for yourselves, how they're ducking and hiding behind their computers. You would hear how they're stuttering and stammering whenever they try to mutter a few words, as their EIA document them give to Guyana was picked apart and exposed for the sham and the scam that it is. Like I said, I will put it together and you will decide whether you will sleep and dream about a good life with these oil gangsters. These oil gangsters that we have to put up with. And along with our incompetent and corrupt clowns we have as leaders. Rushing ahead to say, pump, baby, pump. Pump like you never pumped before. Take it, baby, take it. Take it like you never get it before. Do what you want. Do what you want with me. Yes. The people them repeated those words last night. The experts, the real experts, not Glenn Lall, and these few people who went at all these consultation forum they had all over this country. Man, you guys have to listen to this program on Monday. I want all the religious leaders. I want government officials in and out of government. I want the professionals. I want everybody to listen to Monday night. But let's move on. Please listen Monday night. There's another story we carried today. The Tushaus, the elected leaders in our Amerindian communities, uncle, begging for an increase on a $30,000 stipend that is get a month. Man, I felt so sorry for these people. Begging for an increase on a 30,000 Guyana dollar stipend per month.
Insult of anybody.
We paying $11 million a day for one supply boat. Work or no work. TNT and Suriname paying 2.4. And we have to shows begging for an increase on the 150 US dollar. Them just get a whole month. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Anybody cheersing with me tonight?
Cheers, cheers.
The Amerindian MP, Schumann, and other leaders said these people should get ministers' salaries. Uncle, I fully agree with them because these people doing more work and contributing more to those communities. More than the ministers were building schools with DJs and football promoters. Man, you gotta love this country, Bernard.
Definitely.
Kevin, you gotta love it. Let me give you something to smile and think about, Uncle. Some thief man decide to go and rob a house in Anna Regina. Them rob it a couple of times, and when they realize that nobody in there in the house, them decide for moving. Man, I'm not making up this story. I never make up a single word. Everything I say on this program is factual. All of them are serious. Man, they're serious that will make you pull out your hair from your head. But I got one and two that will make you want to smile and laugh and dance. And this is one of them. The whole family, they're overseas on vacation. And the criminals decide to move in the people's house. Eating, drinking and smoking. Partying like if them own the house. Man, they hook up and sleep under the people fancy blankets and so on. Like never before. The caretaker find out and call the police. So now all the thieves sleeping on cold concrete until the real owners come back from overseas. That story is in today's culture news too. But let's move on. Let's get a little serious now. It's Friday. You gotta laugh in between, smile in between, grin in between. And if you want to cry, well, you try with that. I'm not in that one. Bosai, the Chinese bauxite company, what they in Guyana 15 years now and said they never make a profit. You hear these people?
Yeah, yeah.
15 years they make Guyana never make a profit, you know.
Just like Russia.
Rusal is the same thing, the Russian company. 15 years they never make a profit.
They come halfway on the wall and they can...
Them gonna give a man $2 million, a worker $2 million on a $20 million hospital bill for an injury he received while on the job. You hear that, Bernard?
Mm-hmm.
Them offer a man who was injured on the job
Walking dead.
$2 million out of the man $20 million hospital bill.
It's an insult for Guyanese.
Something fall off from a crane and bust open the man's head. He went through many surgeries that left him with severe memory loss. He can't remember if he was even married or if he had children. The man lost 85% of his memory according to the medical reports. The family now has to find money to hire a lawyer, uncle. Yes. To take Bosai to court because they refuse to accept liability. You hear what's going on in this country? Guyana, and the Guyanese people is in the same boat like that fella when it comes to ExxonMobil. Not if, uncle. When trouble comes, when they get a well blowout, a leak or a fire like what happened in Trinidad just last week, or Mexico, we will have to open the foot and beg some bank to borrow money to pay lawyers to sue them because we ain't got full cover insurance. We ain't got full cover insurance for nothing, uncle. And the little insurance them say we have can't even save the mangroves between Buxton and Traspey, much less the birds on the mangroves or the few fishes that will be living in the mangroves. We are in trouble, uncle. And as we are on this topic of suing and court, let me remind all of you and give you guys the latest update with my court cases. Winston Brasington, the man who is heading the gas to show project and does not have an accountant certificate behind his name, which he admitted in court, sued the Kaicho News 19 times in one day and was awarded close to $40 million by 2 judges on just a few cases, not on all. Many more are to be tried. Justice Fidela Corbin tried 5 cases one time and found that the Kaicho News couldn't prove its case and awarded $3.5 million each with a 4% interest. Then she tried another one and awarded him $2 million. That one was with interest too. Then Justice Navindra Singh tried one, and he too said that Kaicho News couldn't prove its case and awarded Winston Brasington $10 million with interest. Then he tried another case with ex-President Ramotar and awarded him $20 million with interest. Last week, Justice Singh tried another case in which he said we couldn't prove again and awarded Van West Charles $10 million plus $1.6 million lawyer fees with interest from 2019 to now. So I have a big bill to pay. One judge awarding $2 and $3 million, another awarding $10 and $20 million. Not for physical injury or loss of memory, but for emotional stress and damage caused to their character. I am certainly going to appeal the ones I can. And what I can't, don't worry, I will pay. Even if I got to sell the Kaicho News, which I know will never ever happen, no matter what is thrown at me. They are literally, uncle, thousands of cases awaiting trial in the court system, filed long before my cases. Just the other day, the Attorney General talked about how they got to increase the number of judges so that they can tackle the backlog of cases in the system. So I find it strange that the Kaicho News cases started coming up one after the other. Whap, whap, whap.
If you want to shut it up, man.
Cheers, uncle.
Cheers, cheers.
When I began this program, everyone was asking, why the other media house is not picking up on these things that is happening in this country. I have said many times, this oil sector is not huge, it is gigantic. Countries take 40, 70, 100 years to learn a little. Trinidad just found out after 100 years in the business that the oil company was shafting them billions through one single loophole and was able to get the oil company to refund them what they stole. And they were even able to renegotiate a better deal in their contract. So it will take a while for media people to catch on, uncle. I saw of recent the Starbuck News getting there. I was very proud when I picked up a copy yesterday and saw their headline, in which 2018 Jagdeo blistered APNU, AFC over sloth in auditing 460 million Exxon cost.
When he was an opposition leader.
And the strapline of the Starbuck News said, but scrutiny of 9 billion now forfeited under the PPPC government. I had to smile. Yes. I had to smile when I saw that story. Because we would have break that story. I would have talked so much on it. But I'm happy that they picked it up and went back and fact check what Jagdeo had said. You see what I say? Dire, they're picking up. The paper went back, uncle, and quoted word for word what Jagdeo said about the coalition when them didn't audit the first 460 million and the second 500 million US dollars. Let me give you the Vice President exact words quoted in the Starbuck News. What surprises me, Jagdeo said, is that ExxonMobil says that we are open to the audit, but it is still not done. Those were the words, exact words, he said at a press conference in 2018. He also said that while he had no immediate plans, if the government refused to commission an audit, should his party return to government, would ensure that one is done. You hear that one?
Year and a half gone already?
It has to be done, and we will do it, Jagdeo stated. He had emphasized that it was only through auditing that this country would know if costs submitted were indeed the sums spent. Man, you hear it, man?
He talks a good game.
Yes, plays a good game.
When he's not
Sweet words,
When
yes.
he's the opposition leader.
Imagine the people said they will do the audit. So the government should have said, okay, we will get a firm to do it. And at your cost too. Whatever the figure is, we will put that figure in the agreement. Easily, that could have been done because they had no pushback from the company. But the people said 460 million US dollar, Minister of Natural Resources Trackman, put it in there. Put it in. Means, uncle, put it in the bill. We're going to pay it. That is what Mr. Jagdeo interpret Trotman's action means. Mr. Jagdev said they already made a huge financial mistake by put it in the contract, a figure that was not audited. The company said they are not unwilling to have this done. All you have to do is ask your own government. I wish they would do it, he said. Jagdev had said that while the figures submitted by ExxonMobil and partners reflected purported cost prior to the discovery of the oil in 2015, he could not comment on if he believed the 460 million US figure was accurate. If I say that to you, I will be just like Trotman. You have to submit the invoice. You have to say, here is the contract for the rig. The government of Guyana then says, yes, we can verify that it cost 30 million. Then the next questions should be, was this competitively secured? Sourced instead of secure? Could we have gotten it for 20 million US? Because the going rate, the going rate is for 20 million with a question mark.
Like the supply ships in.
Yes. Then, was it a company related? Was it a company related transaction? Because if it was, the cost would be inflated, he stated. These are questions for everything that comes out of every expenditure of the company. At the end of the day, you aggregate and come up with a figure and you say, this is real because we have asked questions and have gotten the answers, Mr. Jagdev said. He said those words to Trotman and the coalition for not auditing the 460 plus the $500 million uncle. In a nutshell, he was accusing the coalition for not checking Exxon bills on $1 billion US. What has he done on 10 billion bill for Liza 1 and 2? 1 year already done on the third project, uncle. Another 10 billion, and he's still putting together checkers. This is the same man who blistered the coalition with words of wisdom just now, telling them how they should have checked and verified the prices they paid for the rigs and question if it was done competitively. If they had purchased it from oil-related parties, meaning their friends or their families. Bernard, you see how smart that man is?
Of course we know he's smart.
He knows if the oil company buy it from their family or related parties, Guyana is bound to get shaft.
Like some of the contracts going on here.
He know that ExxonMobil got to submit all the bills for we to verify, because he said it himself, uncle. He know it has to be verified and give us an example there clearly. If Exxon give you a bill for a rig for 30 million and the price is 20 outside the market, you know you get shafted. Yes, that's what he says. You see how smart this man is?
When he was opposition
This man know every single thing. But when it comes, uncle, to he now in charge to check the 10 billion American dollar. You tell us time run out.
Be disappointed and disappointed.
He didn't even ask to see the bills, like what he said to Trotman, so that we can learn the next time around what to look for. He just plainly said he was disappointed and that we don't have auditors. You guys see the two faces, the two tongues these people speak with? Let me remind you guys, Kevin, let me remind you exactly his words. Just listen it for yourself. Josh, play one of his tape.
We have been very disappointed that we have not been able to select a group to do the audit of the post-2017 expenditure by Exxon. The reason is that we did not have a strong local content. So we had two local groups that came in, but they were not strong enough. We want to build a capacity in Guyana to do this audit. We think our people have enormous skills, forensic skills and auditing skills, and we're looking to see if we can't have an arrangement where we have a consortium of local people come together to do part of this work, partnering with a foreign company, so we can build capacity right here in Guyana. We're disappointed that from the individual bids we've had, we have not been able to do this. So when I get back from Scotland, I've asked the minister to see if we can get together all of the groups in Guyana who've expressed interest in this to see how we can partner. They can partner with a foreign company to do this audit. We badly need to build this capacity also in GRA. GRA has been mandated to try to build a capacity to do this. But it's a disappointment because it's been quite a while.
Wow. That he said those words, here he's saying now, he's disappointed quite a while. Since 2018, Uncle, I read his words. I was trying to get the press conference to play it, but I couldn't get it in time. Since 2018, this man talked about coalition did not count, did not check or verify the 960 million American dollars. He knows that. This is 2021. This financial guru telling us he disappointed that them couldn't check 10 billion American dollars. I only hope you guys listening to these things carefully. Now let me play a short tape with our opposition leader when he promised that he would hold a special press conference to deal with the questions in the oil sector. Could you play that tape?
I've also indicated that we will have a specific press conference on oil and gas. And at that time, the question that will be answered once it is posed.
Thank you.
I will pass that question on to the members of parliament who would have responsibility for the natural resources sector and try to get a response from them.
Yes, that was your opposition leader, Joseph Harmon. One of my reporters kept asking him about this press conference. He promised to talk on this oil. Uncle, a true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the quality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. A man named Douglas MacArthur said those words.
General Douglas.
Yes. That was since October 2020. We in November 2021 still waiting on the opposition leader to put together a press conference to talk about the oil sector in which they played a major role, signing
2%.
the 2%
Junkie deal.
and the oil and the Exxon deal. It's 1 year, 1 month, 1 week, and 5 days later we're still waiting for that press conference. But hear this. Hear this one, Uncle. The acting opposition leader, Roysdale Ford, is lashing back at Vice President Jagdeo, saying that they too are disappointed. He calling out Jagdeo for not auditing the 10 billion on Lisa 1 and Lisa 2. Wow. How convenient these chaps do things to show us as if they are speaking out. They're doing something. They're holding the government accountable. They're exposing the government for not doing the right thing. And all the brown, black, yellow, and purple supporters of them saying, yeah, yes, Roysdale, yes, you're doing a good job. We got bright leaders. We got leaders who are looking out for we pockets. Roysdale Ford said if Jagdeo had checked the 10 billion bill from ExxonMobil, the government should have paid all the taxes for everybody in this country for the next 56 years. Meaning, none of us who are paying taxes would have had to pay taxes for the next 2 generations. Well, the figures I got, had we checked that 10 billion, my friend, we could have doubled every single worker salaries in this country for the next 66 years, plus their taxes. But at least, uncle and auntie, these guys' eyes and mouths slowly opening. It's going dearer. Man, when I listen to these people, you know, when you listen to them and you read what's coming out of their mouth, we are in a sad state.
Definitely.
A sad state.
Definitely. Terrible state.
These clowns we have for leaders, they can't even fix the traffic madness going on in this country all over, especially in Georgetown. Them can't fix your gold, diamond, with bauxite, with timber. They can't fix nothing, Bernard.
And they are moving more.
I'll play a 2-minute video after this program. Please listen to it, Auntie and Uncle. You will hear how an African professor described third world country leaders. I don't want to tell you all, man. Listen to people who went to the universities. I have not looked at a movie for the last 25 years or more. You know why, Bernard?
Why?
Because what is happening in this country every day is like watching a plane crash in slow motion. Worse than any movie. Worse than a horror movie.
It is a horror movie. What you're doing.
And Guyanese just sit back, relaxing and watching what these puppets for actors doing to us and to our country.
Yes, definitely.
A friend tell me, Bernard, he said, Glenn, why are you so harsh on our leaders, calling them names and so on? I told him if he had grown up the way I did and lived through and understand life the way I do, then he would think a million times to ask me such a question.
Definitely.
I said to him, I never know how to cook in my life, but I could make a good rice, salt and pepper with lime, oil, onion and shallot. My staff, Joshua laughing, my staff does ask me to make it every now and again because I have become a master at it. I even name it Lall Yum Chow. Uncle and auntie, I used to eat it every day at lunchtime. My brothers and sisters and I had no choice. You either come home from school and eat that, or you eat milk and rice, because only rice mommy used to add. That's the kind of poverty Lall grew up in. Went all my life to school without a yachting boots on or a rubber slipper on my feet. As for chicken, uncle, one time a week mommy cooking a chicken. And if you get a little piece, you're lucky. Half of Guyana living like that now. And I challenge anybody to prove me wrong. I still have neighbors, friends, countrymen and women that I know living like that on to now. And the way I'm seeing this country being run by these corrupt clowns, man, the entire Guyana, 95% of the Guyanese people heading down that road because we have a set of two-faced and two-tongue leaders. One tongue does taste and one that does suck with. Sucking every one of us, our lives. They're sucking we body right now. They're sucking Guyana dry only for themselves and their families. A man came at the office yesterday to collect 5 of the 50% royalty jersey I normally wear and telling me he can't take it. He can't take this thing anymore. He ready. The man say, you ready to protest now, Mr. Lall? He's on the front page of today's Kaicho News. He said, please put it tomorrow, meaning today. He don't want to wait the next day. He said he went to the market before he come to the office to buy 10-pound potatoes. He said the price for everything nearly double. And the money where you got to buy the 10-pound with could only buy 6 pound. One girl said she went to buy a 3-piece combo at Royal Castle. Handed the cashier 1,500. Cashier know the price used to be 14.20. The cashier turned around and tell she it's $1,700 now.
Wow.
She take back she money, left and went to buy chicken to go home and fry. But when she meet at the chicken stand, she realized chicken price went up from $4.40 to $4.60, from $3.40 to $4.60 a pound. She said butter raised from 300 to 500, flour from 280 to 380, sugar from 240 to 300. My cook, I had to go home and ask my cook. The cook said she used to get 4 bottle oil for $1,000. Now it's $600 per bottle.
Yes, this used to be $3 on
Rice $13.40 to $1,800. Potato $60 to $160. Garlic $220 to $300. Onion $100 to $160. Cheese $700 to $1,000. The girl said her salary remained the same, but everything else double and triple. I am still stunned, looking for an answer to give my cook and that girl. We got wealth. Auntie and uncle, young lady, cook, we got wealth that can triple people's salaries overnight and give every household $1 million a month if we only get a fair share. Fair share from Lisa 1, 2 and Payara only.
fair share of our own wealth.
Instead, the leaders allowing every Tom, Dick and Harry, the Chinese, the Americans, the Russians, the Canadians, Australians, the Indians, every foreigner coming in here in droves to fetch it out free, paying no taxes and little or no royalties. And me and you who own these resources have to pay our rightful royalties and taxes. If you have a business, you're paying all the taxes. If you can't pay the taxes, GRA, let me repeat this thing, man. GRA, if you can't pay the taxes, working out a payment plan for you and telling you you have to pay interest on the taxes you owe. This is what is happening at GRA right now, uncle. Running after the local people like me and you for a few pennies with interests. While these clowns we have for leaders, paying ExxonMobil taxes for them with the money GRA collecting from me and you. You didn't hear what I said there, man. Let me repeat what I said there, man. While these clowns we have for leaders, paying ExxonMobil taxes and all the oil players out there taxes, we are paying for them with the money GRA collecting from me and you. This is the coalition. This is the PPP leaders we have. Man, this is not penny wise and pound foolish. This is beyond scampish and clownish things going on in this land. All they know to do is fight among themselves, cuss out each other, blaming each other for doing this and who doing that. They say one thing today and tomorrow is another thing. They just cannot be trusted, uncle. You cannot trust them, auntie, with anything they say and do. I told you guys on an earlier program that I do not trust a word that come out these people's mouths, much less sentences. They can't raise salaries, but prices going up double and triple every day. The cane industry gone, the rice industry disappearing, the fishing industry is quickly vanishing. A matter of fact, today, a fishing plant from Annandale is going up for sale. The man asked to put an ad in the paper. That's how I know. I told him I'm going to talk with him later. The gold, the diamond, the bauxite is being fetched out by the foreigners, by the rail load, the boat load, ship load, and we getting nothing in return. All the contracts with these foreign people are hidden with secret deals. And when you ask these leaders how we can see these contracts, them saying them got confidentiality clauses inside, hey, and them laughing, uncle.
All the way to the bank.
Yes, they're laughing all the way to the bank. A shop owner on Durban Street said today, people coming in asking for $40 salt and $50 onion, half pint rice and so on. The owner said he doesn't know how to sell $40 salt. This is your Guyana. This is the transformation. This is the development the leaders promised. This is the Dubai Guyana will become overnight. Listen, please listen carefully to this video. This video I will play for you. Those of you viewing YouTube or Facebook, please, I beg you, click on the link. You want to play it now or let me finish? Today, Al Jazeera, give me a moment. Today, Al Jazeera News Agency, the largest news agency in the Arab world, with over 1.4 billion Arabs, reported on Guyana and its oil. The reporter stated that even with our oil boom, Guyana is walking a tightrope on growth and climate. You hear that? A tightrope.
Of course, yes.
Yes.
Below sea level.
You're crossing a trench on a tightrope. If you live it, you live it. If you make it, you make it. We are yet to reflect our rapidly increasing fortunes, the people say. The reporter said there are deep potholes on our roadways filled with water. Buildings are in sour need of fresh paint. Minimum wage workers is just over $1 an hour. The reporter referenced the devastating floods that wrecked crops and destroyed thousands of homes earlier this year. The man said he forecast Georgetown. They predict Georgetown as one of the 9 major cities that will be underwater by 2013. The reporter said Guyana is trying to strike a delicate balance between extracting oil to lift people out of poverty and combating climate crisis. He talked to the new head of EPA, who told him, we are a poor country and we are trying to lift our heads out of poverty with our resources.
Give it to the exam over.
Yes. You hear what I said there, Joshua?
Yes.
The gentleman said he talked to the EPA head, who told him we are a poor country and we are trying to lift our heads out of poverty with our resources. I think the reporter must have looked at him and said, what a moron you be.
Yes, because EPA, they're a bunch of clowns there too, Glenn.
Auntie, Al Jazeera correspondent says, whether the accounting proves to be accurate, people worry that Guyana is joining the black gold business in the final days of oil, with dangerous consequences for our climate and long-term financial burden. Please, listen to people. Long-term financial burdens. International people come in, recognize, seeing that and warning us. Please, Monday night, listen keenly. Get out. Everybody listen. I'll be playing them for you guys. Could you play that last tape? And before I take these questions, it is so important, Uncle, for you to listen this 2-minute tape, and then I'll take a 2-3 calls. And Monday night, please don't forget, don't miss Monday night. I'll be on with you, having a drink with you too, in the studio, because I will not be speaking. Play that.
This is the Africa that I see in 25 years' time. Many Africans, either legally or otherwise, will break
Any telephone call?
Not as yet.
I am confused. I am confused. I'm so happy that I can play these things and you guys can listen what's happening out there, what has happened out there in Africa that is just like Guyana. They have gold, they have diamonds, they have bauxite, they have oil, they have everything just like Guyana. And what have they built for themselves? Nothing. The man says they take medication because the US says so. They take vaccine because the Chinese says so. I love the professor. The man said they're all confused. They're confused with their pockets, but the man doesn't want to say that. Earlier before this program, I asked Joshua to play Rachel Maddow, MSNBC, one of my favorite news anchor in the US. That girl's a champion. She played she used a video and showed a home in California with the Equatorial Guinea president's son. He served for 36 years, and the son bought the Michael Jackson gloves. You got to see some cars this man have. 3 and 4 million American dollars each. Yes, when the man says the leaders are confused, they are confused with money. Money for themselves and their families.
People are eating dog food.
Yes. While we have, and they have, people are eating dog food in Africa too.
Yes.
Yes, worse than Guyana. Yes, we are confused, Uncle. What happened to the phone calls?
We have a caller here.
It's Friday, man.
Caller, good evening and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Yeah, good night.
Good night to you, sir.
Yeah, good night to you, Mr. Glenn and the panel.
Good night.
Yeah, Mr. Glenn,
Go ahead, sir.
I just want to give a little contribution to this program. Mr. Glenn, let me tell you something. If we don't go out on this road to stop these circus clowns, Mr. Glenn, these circus clowns won't know how serious we are serious. I am very fed up and tired of hearing that these circus clowns getting on real stupid. You know, every night I listen to your program, Mr. Glenn. You know, every day I got it in my mind. I got things to tell these circus clowns. You know why I want to tell them? I can't tell them it's because I would mess up your program.
Yes, hold on the line. Hold on the line. Hold on the line. You heard Professor Lubumba said Africans, and well, it goes for Guyanese too. We in this part of the region, because we're listed as third world countries, we have not built anything, nothing. In Africa, at least, the man said they assembled stuff. In Guyana, we can't even assemble a bicycle that comes in a box. Nothing we do. The man said Africa is importing everything. Trust me, bro. Everything Guyana is importing already.
I like this topic. What this man said was this man was talk and he said that you could serve in God and you could still be ignorant.
Exactly.
I like this man.
Yeah. That's a Zambian pastor.
Yes, I love that man. But when that man said that,
the man said the whole world is using phones. The whole of Africa using phone. Every Guyanese using phone. We can't make no phone. But the man says, you know, where the most ingredient part of the phone is coming from? Places like Guyana, Matthews Ridge, They have a whole set of Chinese in there fetching out your manganese and your ore. The ore that they're fetching out is what they're using to make these phones, to make battery phones and stuff like that. And the manganese they're fetching out is what they're taking out there, process it, and then sell us back. Right now, I was talking about GWI, is manganese. We buy back $100 million we order in manganese dioxide to purify we water, GWI. They bring it with, instead of 61%, they bring them with 4%. Our manganese going out here free. Our ore and other minerals going out here free. And we got to buy it back in the hundreds of millions. And all our leaders, all of them, this is not government, brother.
You can't call them leaders no more. You got to call them stalkers, clowns them.
Yes.
Leaders is not the name for them no more, Mr. Glenn. Clowns, stalkers, clowns them. This way you got to keep calling them. You got to keep calling these people them because they won't understand. And I want to ask them one question. Is Mr. Ali and Mr. Harmon and Mr. Jack Dio, them alone live in this country? Them alone live in Guyana, that they could make rules and doing what they feel like. And I want to know, this Isle people, them and all too, Exile Mobile, them and all, they have no right in this country. If they can't give you a fair deal, let it go back. Let Ali and Infant Ali and all of them go back with them. This is what I could say.
I agree with you, brother. I agree 101% with you.
These morons, them we got to leave us, let it go back because them they come with nothing. So
Yeah.
they could come and telling we what to do. Who is them? Who is Exile Mobile to come in Guyana and telling these young people them what to do? In front of Ali and all them I sparse young people in this country, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have no respect for nobody in this country, man.
Mm-hmm. I hear you, bro.
So now, you know, we got to do. We can't wait, Mr. Gary. We got to go out on the road and go in front of Parliament and let Mr. Ali know that it's more serious. We are serious.
I am working on it.
When you ready, you tell me because I wait and I got me crew for go out there for meet them.
I am working on it, brother. I'm working on it, and we gotta work on it fast. Yeah. I want you to listen to Monday night.
I always listen to you, Mr. Glenn. Every night, every time your program, I listening to your program.
Thank you.
Every day, too, I just catch your program because it's very interesting. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for you, and here, when I say how they go shut you out, they can't shut you out. It's Majesty that will do that. They can't do that. Mm-hmm. They have no authority. God send you there for do that, for save we here.
Thank you.
If it wasn't for you, we didn't know nothing. All we sailing. All we might have done sell out.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I'm coming by you for little jersey because I got to wear some of them jersey for these fighting circus clowns them.
Mm-hmm. Thank you,
caller.
All right.
It's 226-7453 and 226-7454 622-2222. You can call us on WhatsApp. It's free of cost, just in case you might not have a credit to call us this evening. You can feel free to call us.
You're right. People don't have credit, man.
That's true.
Imagine credit. But I want to tell that young man that called here. Exxon is not at fault, my brother. Don't fault Exxon. We have to fault and blame our leaders. Our leaders are the people who sell us out.
Just looking out.
Okay?
Caller.
Go ahead.
Caller, good evening and welcome to Glen Launcher. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for
Raise
taking my call.
No problem.
I've been looking at this. The guy needs to go out for election. The way these leaders, well, I don't call it these politicians are treating Guyanese, is like the Guyanese are only going out to choose their poison. That's all. Because no matter which one of them they choose, they're being strangled by both political parties. So you're not choosing leaders, you're choosing your poison. Either the PPP is going to strangle the country or APM is going to strangle the country. But what I would like to say is about the insurance. I've never seen where a company goes out to do work, and if they make a mistake with their work to create a tragedy, the person who they're doing the work for have to pay for the cost. So that company can be careless. They can do whatever they want because they know they don't have to pay the consequences of it. And I'm speaking about Exxon and Guyana. If Exxon use inferior metal or they're careless, they cause a spill, Guyana have to bear the burden for that. That don't make sense. Any fool that sits down and make a contract like that, if for somebody to sit down and make a contract like that, they have to be foolish, because Exxon may even have subsidiary companies that clean up oil spills. So they may say, listen, I'm going to be devil's advocate here. Let's throw a couple of million barrels in the ocean, get some of our companies, they're not busy right now, come and clean up, make a $10 billion, and we're good. So this thing about covering the insurance, the cost for Exxon, Guyanese is not doing the work, Exxon is, and they can be careless, they can create a catastrophe, and then Guyana has to bear the burden. Right off the bat, no sane person would sign a deal like that.
Exactly.
On Guyana's behalf. And the next thing I would like to warn Mr. Lall. Remember when Trump got blamed for the protests that went on a rampage in the States?
Yes.
I think it's very important that Mr. Lall make it very clear that he is not going to tolerate any kind of violence, any kind of riot, and warn the protesters. If they see anybody trying to loot, trying to do anything, the protesters should pack up and leave. And he should be very, very clear about that on the radio, because the PPP, the government, maybe even Exxon, can pay people to get into the crowd to create chaos.
I know that.
They're coming after him for organizing protests, or whoever the organizers may be, they're going to be coming after them. So they have on air, they have to make it very clear. That's my take for tonight. Thanks.
I hear you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. On the question of insurance, last night during the 4.5 hour consultation with Exxon, that question would have asked like 15 times. I myself was given the opportunity to ask that question, man, and you have to hear the answer. You rightfully said, who will sign a contract without having full cover insurance? And they keep saying we have insurance and we have third party insurance, and then they're saying that they will stand their ground, they're going to stick, they're going to be responsible. I asked them, I said, we don't want you to say that you'll be responsible or you are obligated to take on or to handle a spill. We want to see it in writing, in a policy, an insurance policy that can take care of the damages you created. Thank you. And that has been a question they have been ducking and hiding behind their computer every time you ask them that question. You're going to hear it for yourself on Monday. where the real experts put it on them. Any more calls?
Yes, you have a caller.
Yeah, take it.
Caller, good evening and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Good night. I'd like to say, good night, you understand, that I'm waiting for the protest too, and I agree with the man who speak earlier, you understand, and less talking, brethren, you understand, and more action. Me crew waiting to come out. You understand?
Thank you.
So, that's all I got to say. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night. Good night.
Okay.
Good night. Take the calls if you want.
Caller, good evening and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show. Hello, go ahead, sir.
Hello, good night.
Good night to you. Go ahead, sir. We're listening to you. Go ahead. We're listening to you. All right. We seem to have an internet connection here with the call. We have another caller on the one.
I got one here.
Oh, go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, the quick question I got to ask is that if our leaders are smart businessmen, shouldn't they demand from these companies that they should have some kind of insurance policy set in place for the employees and the compensation for any medical or anything else? But as usual, these guys are not smart.
Insurance is a must everywhere on earth, brother.
Correct.
And I can't see. This is a question that has been like a mantra in this land from the day ExxonMobil come here, and you haven't heard a single word from any one of our leaders. You know, I asked some of them when we talk. I said, man, you have insurance on your home? Yes. You got insurance in your car? Yes. You have anything that doesn't have insurance? Some of them would smile. I said, what happened, man? We are running here in Guyana with the most dangerous and deadly business called the oil sector, the oil industry. In Trinidad, they had over 100 spill accidents. For this year alone, insurance took care of it.
Well, not only that, sir. What happened to the kid that had an accident with a gold company? They should demand that these people have insurance for their employees also. These people are poor. They can't afford it. My nephew was working for Dokal a few years back, and the bottle exploded, and he was burned to death. You know what they got? Zilt.
I'll follow up.
Lenora.
I'll follow up on that. Joshua, make a note of that.
No problem.
I'll have one of my reporters do a follow up on that. You see, my friend, the things are so much when the day come to deal with. You have a trillion stories, but when finding the reporters, when you do find one, they snatch them away, pay them a fat salary, and put them in offices to sit down, collecting taxpayers' dollars, just for them not to expose. Yes, to shut them up. Shut them up.
Yep.
So it's difficult to find. Go ahead.
You said on Wednesday night about Singapore and the leader.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We need a person with all that integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Are we looking at somebody in the mirror right now, or are we looking at somebody? I don't want to say. Read between the lines.
Leaders will come, my friend.
Okay.
Leaders will come.
With integrity.
With class.
Correct.
And with the fighting spirit.
That's right.
You cannot hide nowadays, man. The internet, you cannot hide nowadays.
Mm-hmm. My friend, leaders are all over. You just have to select them. All right?
Anybody's a leader. Look at what we have as leaders. We need good leaders.
And you got to see who they're selecting to. We don't want to get to that. We don't want to get to that. But thank you.
All right. You guys are welcome. Thank you.
Very well.
I have a caller here.
Bye.
Caller, good evening. Welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Good night, my brother. Good night.
Good night.
My contribution to this program is that I think we got to stop talking. We know what's up. We got to start protest. And the faster we get down to this, it's taking too much time. We can still go on with the talking. But the PPP government doesn't understand anything but action. They never understand anything. From 1964 to now, and the PNC, they're all this together. These people are probably part owners of ExxonMobil. I'm telling you this because some stupidness you hear going on, you got to be a owner of this company, man.
Exactly.
So I don't feel that we should stop all this talking now and start action right away. Action right away.
Hold on the line. Don't come off the line. Hold on the line. I was sent an email in which a gentleman made that exact point that you're saying. Vice President Jagdeo and the opposition, none of them didn't audit or check any of the bills. And there's the reason why. Because all these guys have shares in there. They even have bills, their own bills that is being thrown in there, collecting fat cash. I ain't calling names, but I know what they're doing. I'm going to put together it and I'm going to tell you guys what's going on.
Probably we got to check the Panama files to see how much money these people got.
You saw earlier before the program, I played a small video with Rachel Maddow, in which she said
I heard that before.
In which she said the president of Equatorial Guinea, ExxonMobil used to deposit money in his Washington bank account.
Look, I think both the leaders of the PNC and the PVP and others, they got one of them who was a former minister of building a whole set of houses in Bel Air Park, which he couldn't even build one in Campbellville. So these people have developed vast resources over the years, man. You think they signed their contract, signed the contract under Granger for nothing?
Exactly. That's the exact point.
For billions they don't collect already, man.
All right, you just gotta careful with your words, man. You just gotta careful with your words, because I have enough lawsuits, and most of the lawsuits is not from what the newspaper would have said, but it's things like this. You gotta careful with your language. One is from Kit Nascimento. Mr. Granger sued us all the newspapers. Kit Nascimento wrote a letter in the newspapers. All of us published it, and he sued everybody. So that's another case coming up very soon. So you got to be careful with your language. You cannot accuse people if you don't have proof. You can say read through the lines. It's clear that you can say read through the lines. All right, guys? You listen, you say read through the lines. Any more calls we have? It's 9 o'clock.
It is.
Hmm?
I don't see it coming in yet.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Namaste. You're live on the air.
Namaste. Good evening to my brother Glenn Lall and the panel.
Good evening.
You know what is very disturbing to me in Guyana? We have 65 seats in Parliament, 65 parliamentarians.
Mm-hmm.
And with the president, all them, let's say about 70. And they are controlling the lives of 750,000 people. And when you walk out the match, it's like one person controlling about 10,000 people, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about you. I know none of them can control me.
Well, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, but go ahead.
What I'm saying here, that I can remember when India was fighting for freedom and independence, Gandhi said to the people in India that we are allowing 100,000 British farmers to control the lives of 350 million Indians. If you refuse them to control lives, they will leave this country without even violence.
Definitely.
Because independence is like a red fruit; it will fall in its own time, unless you are proven worthy of it. What I'm saying, the Guyanese people, unto this day, they are not ready yet. The day they are ready for a change, it will happen. But the way we are acting up to now, unto this day, the politicians are smiling, man. They're smiling because you know why? Just like how they are accomplice to exam, the Guyanese population are accomplice to the politicians in this country. But what they don't know, they are digging their own grave. There's a movie show at the cinema, Frankenstein, where a man was making a monster and the monster turned back and killed the man who was making it. We are worshipping leaders that are betraying us every day. And what they're doing to the lives of the Guyanese people in this country is unbelievable. But you know what? A friend was telling me a story that just like a good man wants to do good every day, when you're an evil person, he was telling me, a friend, that if that person will do a corrupted act, run on cow, do something immoral and illegal, he can't sleep.
Exactly.
So I want to believe that our leaders them get so involved in corruption and wrongdoing that
they cannot sleep.
They have to do something corrupted every day before they can maybe rest in the night. You know, this thing gets so they come in a DNA. Whether they want to do it or not, maybe it's not money the problem, but they must do it because this thing is haunting them. It's like a ghost. You know, they can only live by corruption and wrongdoing.
I hear you, brother.
You know, that we recently celebrated Deepavali, and it speaks about two persons, Ram and Ravan. One is the good side of it, and one is the evil side. We Guyanese have to decide which side we are really following. And I like what you said Monday night. I hope all the spiritual leaders in this country can listen, because there's a survey show that about 95% of the people in this country believe there is a God, or at least they accept there is a creator or some kind of supreme force. And if that is true, I want to know how 95% godly people can allow a couple godless men to control and rule this country. We must, as the brother said, do some kind of action, not only speaking. And I believe if Jesus Christ was alive and Prophet Muhammad and Ram and Krishna, they would have come out and protest first. Because if you read the history and read the great works of these people, they did not tolerate wrongdoing and anything that is corrupted and lies and stealing. The Bible tell you that about the 10 Commandments that is in Islam, in Hinduism too. So if we are believers in our scripture and we believe in a God, how can we allow people like this to control our life and do so much wrong and yet worship them, support them? It's something we should ask ourselves.
My friend, for over 20 years, every day I ask myself those questions. Streets or drive the streets, I talk about this thing. When I watch people and I chat with them, 2 months ago, exactly what you said there, one guy said to me, he said, man, Glenn, if I don't make a dollar, if I don't go out there and do something, I don't feel good. I had to smile. I had to smile. And you don't want to know who he is. I wouldn't say who he is. But no. But the politicians, the politicians cultivated his family. So it came from his dad. The dad imparted that, he cultivated that into his son. And the son he's so into money that education is of no value to him. He didn't even go to school. But every day he could laugh and say, well, I make $200,000-$300,000 today. and make $1 million today. You know? You can't change those people.
I know.
That's the culture they grew up in. That's what they see their parents did. And that's who they became.
I just wonder to know if these people them just go to funeral.
Yes. I see them at
If they
funeral.
go to funeral, and when they go to funeral, what they see at a funeral, and what kind of realization, and what really motivate them, or they're just blind and dumb about life.
Yes.
They don't see cemetery, they don't look at death announcement, they don't look at things that is related to death, and ask themselves, would I live forever, and what I'm accumulating here, even if it's legal or illegal, would I take it after death? Then people, are they already dead? Man, I tell you something. Me sorry for some of these people, honestly.
Yes, I sorry.
I grieve for them.
Yes.
Honestly, when I think of how mankind live towards their own human being, right? How can you be so godless and heartless? When you watch the rest of people suffer and punish acts, the dark food stories make me laugh, believe me. And then you got your nation. It's better leave the aisle right there, you know, man.
Exactly.
And go away from here, because if you take out the aisle, whether it's wrong or right, or we should get the money, because in case any disaster, we can move to higher grounds. At least you can be more prepared by sea defense and all that.
You know,
you're taking out the aisle for nothing and giving us nothing. So what really we doing, man?
We are heading in the negative, my friend. Up to this afternoon in our editorial meeting, I am telling the staff that ExxonMobil telling them pump, baby, pump. And Jagdev and Harman them saying, pump, baby, pump it and let's go. Right? And on the other hand, one of the proofreader is saying, but boss, you know, oil will become obsolete. I said, no, baby. No. Oil will be in demand for the next 100 years. Many oil experts have said that. So our neighbors Suriname found oil, and they said clearly they're not in a hurry, they're not in a rush. 2025 can come and go, and they will still be sitting on their oil. They're not in a rush. While our leaders saying, we got to take it out, oil going to go out, oil going to go out of style. So I explain and tell the staff, I told the proofreader and the few younger ones, I said, man, the oil we have here is the sweetest crude, the best thing the world have ever seen. And it's cheap to bring up. And once oil is needed for the next 100 years, you will be the number one. I told him, I said, girl, it's like you having the sweetest mango on earth. And you can sell it at any price you feel like once mango is in demand. You think anybody can beat you? And she said yes. Okay, Mr. Lall, I understand you. This is why the Dutch people, the Dutch people have told Suriname.
You know, one of the things I've noticed in Guyana, my brother, that the opposition, when any one of these two parties is opposition, man, they do an excellent job. They can make this place heaven when they're in opposition. You know?
Yes.
It's like a Mawa woman.
Yes.
And you promise them the moon and the stars.
Yes. Yes.
When you don't get what you want. Yeah. Man, they're making this when they're opposition. All the wrong they must see and how they can do it right.
You just heard. You heard how Jagdo cost down the opposition for not auditing the 460 to 500 million when he was the opposition leader in 2018.
Well, a couple of years ago, I was in front of Parliament and there was the budget debate, and for half an hour I was there. These two parties custom each other, who thief more than who. So me say, when them people take remember, like I went too bad, woman, a custom for man, you know? Yes. I already custom each other, who thief more than who. When me say, well, at least they're honest enough to say who thief more than who.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Yes.
I'll tell you this. This custom and this attitude they had, this radio station has put a halt. A big brakes on them. They're scared now to go hold television press conference. They're even fighting for American globe span and every span right now. Because everything they say is being played here so that you people can hear and get to understand who you're dealing with. You see, nobody has ever challenged them
I know.
Confront them, expose them for who they are. And I have been doing that, my friend, for the last 27 years through the pages of the newspaper.
Brother, you don't have to tell me.
You know, I'll tell you this, the 19 lawsuits that I got from Winston Brasington one day was because of them bice. You know, in them bice you can get away with one thing. Them by can say, you know what, Harman do this, underground and Harman do this, and Jack Day do this. Right? But we went a little overboard with him because he was getting too blatant. Right? And sometimes, you know, as you press the button, you got to press the button. You press the button thinking that these people are going to haul back and pull back and change their ways. But they weren't. They were getting more rude and crude and disrespectful.
I know.
Hence, I had to do what I had to do, knowing the individual who I am. And I keep saying that once I have to pay, I'll pay. Even if I have to beg, I'll beg to pay. But I'm not going to say I'm sorry.
I am saying the Guyanese people should take the streets for that. Should take the streets for that, because you know why they are doing this? Because what you are doing, you are exposing them left, right, and center. They should take the streets up and let me show that the Guyanese population is with you. But I tell you something, Brother Glenn. We have seen nations fall in this world, much less one government or an individual.
Yes.
Would you remember history that the British used to rule three-quarters of the world, you know?
Yes.
It was said that the sun never set or raised in the British Empire. And we live and see England split up to Scotland, Wales, and whatever.
Yes.
You see? So all this is only history repeating itself. We will live to see the end of whoever think they can rule and be powerful forever. If it is a government or an individual, we will live to see, like you said, John Rockefeller.
Thank you.
I don't know who recorded my paper break, Ian Moss, Rockefeller, or who to become the richest who. You know, understand?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
You said I'm out full. Thank you. God bless you guys too. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Man had a mouthful to say there, man.
He's right.
Yep. Josh, it's 9. It's Friday, and I'm going to take one more call. Well,
Yes, sir.
good evening, sir. You're the last caller.
Okay, good. Yes. Sir, I want to ask you a question with PAC, the Public Accounts Committee, right? Because they are responsible to account all the expenditure income of the country. How would the people who spend the money account for themselves?
Well, that's if we were to look at it, the Auditor General is all part of the government. Everybody is intertwined, man. Everybody's part of the government. But the PAC, the PAC,
looking at the period where the opposition spend money, right? Now they sit on a committee to decide how money was spent and whether money was accounted for. Is that correct?
I hear you loud and clear, brother. I myself confused at that. You know? I just want to break it down a little so people understand what we are saying. Yes. There are many people who don't understand about the PAC. You know?
Right, the PAC.
The PAC is a body that's set up in Parliament to check all the spendings of every ministries and departments, government departments and so on. And now the PAC is checking what the coalition spent when they were in office. And the coalition is the people who's running the PAC right now in Parliament, checking their own money.
And the next thing, brother, is that there are no sanctions against those people who commit financial irregularities.
Brother, you raise a beautiful thing that you just make my night. I'm gonna go have a nice drink with it, you know. But come on, man. Oh, don't listen. I think I have given the people enough for tonight. Give them a break.
That was a good question. That is a good question.
Oh, it's a beautiful question. It's a beautiful question, but give Guyanese a break tonight. It's Friday.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to, because I was following the PAC with Agile, Gail
Teixeira. So you wait, man, wait. They can't find some of the documents in which the coalition paid millions of US dollars. What else you want we said tonight, man? Huh?
There's no sanction?
Oh my. Oh, brother, you in jail your family? Oh, Chacha, you gonna send your neighbor to court? Huh?
You're right. You're right.
Huh? You gonna send your colleague to court? All of you who thief together? Come on, man, I ain't gonna do this thing.
My next question to you.
Yes, quickly.
You talk about both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Minister of Labour, George Hamilton, said that his ministry is one of the most robust in the Caribbean in terms of taking care of workers. That company offered him only $2 million. Oh my, what's happening? Where is George Hamilton and the Minister and the Labour officer?
A man like Joseph Hamilton can't even be a clerk in my company. Let's don't go further. Let's move on. Next. And he's a minister.
My next question, I want to commend you for a good job. You said a leader must have integrity.
Yes.
Passion, right?
Exactly.
Good. But when I look through the vines, I see you with those qualities. So why don't you get forward?
You know, I fed up answer this question, you know. I am tired answering this question. Get forth, we are talking about a political party and Lall should lead a political party. No, sir. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully.
Yeah, brother.
I believe that every word that preceded my mouth, I believe every breath that I breathe. I believe all my actions and inactions, my footsteps, everything is being guided and directed by that man above, our Creator.
Yeah, he said to you.
And whatever he decides
That'll be the way.
for me in the next hour, tonight, tomorrow, next week, next year, I have no say. I am not in control of what I eat tomorrow. We are not in control of these things, my friend.
No, I know. I agree with you, my friend. I agree with you.
A lot of people keep asking questions and people believing that, you know what, I am in control of this life. No, sir, you're not in control of this life.
No, brother, we can add to the change.
Listen, we can say and we can do many things and we can think of many things. I have said it loud and clear, brother. Wherever life takes me, I am there and I have to go. There is no if or but about it. You know, let me put it this way. Coming out of Wakenham, okay? Wakenham mean waiting for a name. He doesn't have a name until now. I ask myself many times, Lall, how you became a newspaper man running the leading newspaper in this country. And there are so many things, big things that has happened to me over my lifetime that I have no answers to.
But Glenn, let me tell you something. For the longest while, I haven't eaten salt and rice. But you spoke about salt and rice today, and you remind me of my memory. I grew up with that too.
Yes, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I call it salt and rice with little chutney and lime achar and thing, you know? You mix up on rice. And little pepper, that thing, little pepper and thing. When you spoke about that, you remind me. I grew up with that too, but as long as I have eaten that.
Yeah, let's get going with something more important than just a gaff.
More important.
Thank you. You have any other stuff?
The Ministry of Labor and those things, but again, we got to start preaching and get going.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, sir?
Thank you. Have a good night.
And I'm part of you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Thanks. Bye.
Good, buddy.
With that, Guyana, thank you so much for listening. God bless you, and I hope that you join me Monday night with a drink in your hand. If you're not drinking, just get a Coke or a Pepsi or a coconut water or a bottled water and sip with me Monday night. You would be shocked with what you'll be hearing. Once again, thank you so much and enjoy the weekend.
This is the Africa that I see.